My name is Jasmine Woodson.
Hi, my name is Silla.
I'm Karen Watson.
I'm Yolanda Johnson from Georgia.
This is BB Diamond from New York City.
I'm Dana Galen, and I'm from Tampa, Florida.
I live in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Out here in Maricopa County.
Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
I am a proud African immigrant living in Florida.
I'm from the great state of New Jersey.
I'm Angelina from Philly, and this November, I am not voting for Kamala Harris.
I am not voting for Kamala Harris.
I'm not voting for Kamala Harris.
I am not with Kamala Harris.
I am not with her.
I'm not with her.
I am not with Kamala Harris.
I'm not with Kamala.
I am not for Kamala. I am for Donald Trump.
I am not with Kamala.
I am not with her because she is not with me.
I support President Trump and the economic policies our country experienced under his leadership as our 45th president.
President Trump will support our law enforcement agencies and fund them appropriately.
Donald Trump made me proud to be an American.
I'm with Donald J. Trump.
We need a leader who can make America great again.
Trump puts Americans first, and he always will.
We need Donald Trump.
I and millions of other Black Americans will cast my vote for Donald J. Trump.
I will proudly cast my vote for Donald J. Trump as our next president.
Let's make America great again.
We on the Trump train, not again. You can't hang, cause you watching fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news. Jesus, he died for you, he loves you, you know it's true. He's good news, good news, good news, good news. Tell me why they trying to take Capitol Hill. Tell me why they trying to process the Green New Deal. Tell me why the media keep promoting the fear. Tell me why they cancel you if you stand to be fair. They just want you to stare. They just want you to scare. Take them to the mob, nah, you become theirs. I ain't running with no mob till the truth out here. Load it up with a view, you can like and share. You drawing near, you best beware. They looking to rule your mind if it don't match theirs. So cast your cares upon the one that cares. Best believe he'll deliver you from all the snares. Run around marching with Marxist views. You ought to stop because they don't really march to you. Black lives matter when it's on the news. All lives matter is the only truth. We on the Trump train. You can't hang, cause you watching fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news.
Trump train. Yes, sir. I know that was a long intro. I apologize about that. But hey, I had to show y'all a little bit of that. As a matter of fact, I have another video that I want to show you guys. But before we get into that, the panic is setting in. The panic is setting in, guys, and we are seeing it all over the place. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, and more specifically, Barack Obama. Okay? But before we get into that, I want to show you guys another video to highlight a little bit more that the panic is setting in. And you saw those first two clips. We ain't supporting Kamala. I don't care what they say or do at this point. You've had 4 years to give me a reason to vote for you, and you haven't. You didn't. As a matter of fact, you gave me a bunch of reasons as to why I shouldn't. Okay? So I want to play this clip from, crap, I can't even think of his name now. Anyway, I'm going to play it. Check it out.
Because new polls are out, and it doesn't look good for Kamala Harris. I have not been this worried in a long time. So we don't have a lot of time left. We have less than a month left, and she's now losing in almost all the swing states. Look, I'm telling you this, not again to ha-ha or whatever. I'm telling you because the pundits are almost always wrong. They never come back and tell you, oh, yeah, we got it wrong, etc. They don't tell you oftentimes ahead of time. They do Monday morning quarterback. They've, all those different things that they do wrong. The reason I tell you guys stuff ahead of time is so you can see whether I'm right or not. So you can see whether you should trust our analysis of what is reality, not what we want, but what is reality. So that's why
yeah. when he's coming out and saying, yeah, it's not looking good, guys. It's not good. I don't care what mainstream media tries to tell you. It's not looking good. You know it's getting ugly. You also know it's getting ugly when they say, all right, Send out everything. Send out the big gun. We got to get Barack Obama out there. And that's exactly what they're doing. Check it out.
And then, don't boo. I'm going to break you of this habit. And the reason some people think, wow, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good, because it was my economy. We had 75 straight months of job growth that I handed over to him. It wasn't something he did. I had spent 8 years cleaning up the mess that the Republicans had left me the last time. So just in case everybody has a hazy memory, he didn't do nothing except those big tax cuts.
He didn't do nothing. Yeah, all right. Exactly. You know, one thing I've learned about Democrats throughout this journey of discovering the truth is that Democrats never, take accountability for their actions. It's always somebody else's fault whenever anything goes wrong when Democrats are in charge. And when Republicans are in charge and something goes right, oh, well, that was because of Democrat, right? Like, they try to shove off blame when something goes wrong and take the credit when something goes right. Every single time. Every single time. Well, no, that wasn't Trump. That was me. That was us. Well, this thing that went bad, that was because Republicans and Trump. Like, never take accountability. Well, Barack Obama took it a step further because, as we have reported and we've talked about several times, and you guys, I'm sure, have heard it other places, black men are most definitely not supporting Kamala. And you're looking at one now. I know Joe Biden would say that I'm not black, but I am. Trust me, this don't rub off, okay? I get free tans for life, all right? I was born with it. He's starting to blame black men for Kamala struggling. Check it out.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Oh, man. This guy. So now we're back to the, well, she's black, guys, so vote for her too. Like, you got that, Obama. You got it. I'd be the first to admit, like, I made no secret about it. When Obama was running, I think everybody, he probably got like 99.9% of the black vote. Everybody. And we saw how well that turned out. So, I mean, if there's anybody to blame Obama, it's you. You showed us that voting based on skin color is a really terrible idea. Really, really terrible. And second thing, she ain't black. She didn't grow up like me. I ain't grow up eating greens out the bathtub. Not once. If I ever saw my mother cooking greens in the bathtub, Man, I wouldn't have ate a single thing she ever ate again. I'll tell you that. That's a fact. What? I ain't grew up with no red dot on my forehead. What you mean she grew up like me? I ain't grew up in Canada either. Wait, what you mean she grew up like me? My mama ain't Indian. What you mean? Oh, she grew up like you. She knows you. She don't know me and I don't know her. I know enough. Enough to know that I ain't ever voting for her. This is silly stuff. Silly stuff. And not only that, but they recently sent out Magic Johnson, you know, the basketball player from a long time ago. Yeah, just check it out.
Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on. And we got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Nah, we ain't voting for her. This man is trying to tell black men, you know what, I'm not even gonna go there. I really don't even need to say anything. He's trying to tell black men something, you know. Anyway, next, Nina Turner went on to CNN, and I've actually posted about Nina Turner before when she was on the Breakfast Club, because she's one of the only Democrats that actually kind of, like, I don't agree with her 1000%, okay? But, like, most Democrats just don't make any sense. I mean, zero across the board, none whatsoever. But Nina Turner actually makes a little bit of sense. Just a little bit.
Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group?
A tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio, as he did twice. But to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And what, as a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Waltz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president...
Bingo. We have our reasons. And you ain't changing that. As a matter of fact, by doing this whole, oh, you guys are silly, you guys don't know what you're doing, like that makes me even strong, like that even further lets me know that I'm making the right decision. And then Obama comes out here and basically says, well, she's black, guys. She knows you, black men. She knows you. She grew up like you. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Excuse my language, but that is just ridiculous. That is the dumbest thing I have heard. Vote for the woman because she's black. I'm sorry, does being black put food on the table? I wish it did. I wish I could just wake up in the morning and I had all the food that I could ever want. Ain't got to pay for nothing. Ain't got to go to the grocery store to get nothing. It's just right there on the table. Does being black pay for gas? I wish. I wish I could walk outside and hop right in the car and, hey, it's filled with gas. Good to go. Good to be black, ain't it? Does being black put money in my pocket? Fuck no. So what are we talking about? Oh my goodness. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
I mean, this is a political party that thinks gender is just a state of mind, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, we have trouble with moderate biological males. I mean, who is surprised about this? I think Democratic Party elites like Obama and like others have been viciously attacking Donald Trump since 2016. And everything they've said about him is what they have always said about him. And I don't think it's particularly effective right now. I think their problem isn't attacking Trump. Their problem is finding reasons to give people to support Kamala Harris. This stop he made in this plea he's making to African-American men. I mean, he said today he insulted them. I mean, he, first of all, admits that they're not enthusiastic about her. He said, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and reasons for that. And I think one thing we've seen about Democrats over the years is that when they can't convince you to do something, they begin to insult you. Obama specifically, when he was having trouble with rural voters in Pennsylvania, go back all the way into his campaigns, he insulted them about their culture and values. I don't think it's helpful to insult a group of people who are already not enthusiastic about your campaign, but I think that's what he did today. The story tonight is they're struggling with men, Obama's insulting men, and they're out saying, well, let's fix it by sending Tim Walz out and hiring Mitt Romney. It's crazy to me.
I'm sorry,
Not gonna work. Not gonna work. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna even go there. There's so, man. My mouth is gonna get me in trouble. Boy, I tell you. You sending out Tim Walz to garner the support of men? You know, I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyway, yeah, it ain't working, and they're getting desperate. And you heard Scott Jennings talk about it there. When Democrats get desperate, they start to insult you. They start to insult you. Biden did it. Now, granted, it kind of worked for him a little bit, but it ain't working again. It's not working this time. And I'm seeing these videos all over where people are like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. It's over. And they shot themselves in the foot. They did this to themselves. Democrats lied about Biden for years, knowing what the truth was. And they didn't tell the truth until they absolutely had to. And then they were stuck with Kamala. Well, why were they stuck with Kamala? Well, because they always talked about representation matters. So they had to pick somebody who looked black to represent, right? And now they're stuck with her. This is their own fault. They were in a catch-22. They lose and they lose. This is the monster that they created. The bed that they made. Now they got a lie in it. Goodbye. Congratulations, Democrats. You played yourself.